Welcome, ladies and gents, back to the 3O channel where we live and learn by listening. Thanks so much for tagging along this weekend. Well, you guys, you know what time it is. It's time for that fabulous trio, and we're doing a little something different this time around. You guys can see from the notification on your phone or whatever that it's a rare interview in Miami in 1987. Folks, if you're new here to the channel, my name is Chad. We do this every other weekend, okay? That being said, we're not going to waste any more time. This is, I think, a 20-some minute interview, so we're going to jump right in.
10 years, and we love living here, and it reminds us very much of Australia, reminds us very much of Queensland. Yeah. So we've sort of made our home here, and we can be central at the same time to most show business centres, you know.
What was it that made you come here in the first instance?
Well, the Clapton album.
Eric Clapton had made...
we had to get away. Yeah.
No, it wasn't because of that. Yes. Now, Eric made an album here called 461 Ocean Boulevard, which was a place he rented, and that was the actual address, and he called the album after the address. And we found out two ladies cooked and looked after the house, and you could rent these houses and record in the studio called Criteria in North Miami. So we tried it out with the main course album, and it was wonderful, great experience. You know, it was nice to get up in the morning and get some sun, and then go in the studio and relax and work. You know, it was just a great experience.
You still spend a fair bit of time in, well, you all spend time in London, but Robin more so than the others.
Well, I've got two kids living over there at the moment, and I have to be there a little bit more frequently. And but we all have places over there, and it enables us to be stimulated by the music scene both there and here.
We're going to take you back a little further now, back to...
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Way back. This is when you guys are that tall and you're a little bit
high to a jockstrap, yeah.
Have a look at this. Well, there you go, guys. Times have certainly changed a little bit since then.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah, have a little bit, yeah.
Your 25th album, I mean, that's a lot of records.
Apparently. Depends where you start counting, but I guess it is, yeah.
In fact, we were quite shocked when we were told we haven't been counting. You know, we just love to make records, so
we didn't know.
We didn't really know.
But I guess it is.
ESP is a great record.
Oh, thank you.
It's getting fantastic reaction already in England. But we were saying that Win Again sold 30,000 copies today.
Yeah,
one day. Yeah, well, we're getting tremendous reaction on the album and the single all over Europe. So it's a wonderful start. You know, we now have a base.
And of course, you Win Again on the 6 in England this week.
It's fantastic.
22-6.
When you finished the record, did you predict it was going to happen so quickly for the single?
I think we knew we had a commercial single on our hands, yeah.
I think we've always been aware of that, no matter who we've done.
I think our question was, who is really going to allow us to forget anything to do with the fever thing, you know, which gave us a saturation situation. So it's starting to happen, which is amazing.
Europe's taking the lead, and Europe has always been, or especially Great Britain as well, has always been a country where they judge the record for what it is and not what...
I think the rest of the world is like that. Australia is like that too. They judge a record on exactly what the record is, not the image of the artist. And in America, I'm afraid they have a few problems.
I think because of all of the recent years of the MTV cable thing over here, where there's been very image orientated, and they've got into this image thing where they don't listen to the record anymore, they evaluate the image, and they don't listen to the music, because the music to us dictates the image at the end of the day. What the record is what your image is going to be. And I think they've got very, very video obsessed, although we like mid videos and we make videos. But it's that video machinery that's upsetting America.
But it's coming, it's coming.
Sounds like a perfect cue to roll the video.
Yeah,
It does,
Just
roll
the
the
video. You win again. Our special guests on MTV tonight are the Bee Gees. Guys, it's 6 years since the last Bee Gees album.
Yes.
Can you give us a quick potted history of some of the highlights of those 6 years?
Would you like to take the first pot?
First part, thank you. Yes, what we did was we really went to work on trying to broaden our songwriting and making it stronger if possible. And in doing that, we decided to work with write for other artists and produce them. And it's worked very well for us. We have pretty much an unbroken record of working with outside artists, whether it's Streisand, Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, Dionne Warwick, Diana Ross. They've all been very good for us, and it's broadened our songwriting to us a lot. So, but I think that probably one of the highest moments for us was Chain Reaction in Europe and Australia, places like that, where it did exceptionally well. Particularly Australia, because it's where we come from, and it's nice to see it do something like that.
I just want to pause a moment and just kind of briefly talk about how I enjoy how they're bringing up issues about, you know, the saturation that happened after Fever. We all know about the saturation, you know, on the radio stations and whatnot. And just talking about how they kind of went in a different angle. Most of you already know this, but it's just good for some of the new ones that may be here, not really knowing the history of the Bee Gees, how that they began to write songs for other artists. You know, having to go through that saturation, that they were just so huge everywhere. Everywhere they were just so huge with all the hit songs from Saturday Night Fever. And then it just kind of, it was a backlash is what it was. And so they dealt with that by writing songs for other artists and just kind of giving back. And most of the artists that had songs written by the Bee Gees, those songs went on to be hits. So it's amazing. I love it on these interviews when the Bee Gees make sure that they to kind of touch on these topics, to kind of give understanding about the entire history.
We had such a saturation point at the coming off of that, of our records being played all the time, and it was just something that we wanted to do by expanding the songwriting and taking rest away from hearing us all over the radio. I mean, it was a saturation point.
Just not being the Bee Gees for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk more about that in a minute. But
okay.
Hey, do you want to look anywhere?
Let's why don't we look right down there and have a look at Diana Ross with the Chain Reaction.
Should I have her on the floor?
Yeah. On the merry-go-round again, all this publicity and talk of the world tour and all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. In a way, it feels like we've opened the door again, and as you said before, let the world back in. You know, because for the past, it's good, isn't it? You like that?
It's good.
He said it.
Did you have it back in?
For the past 6 years, life has been relatively quiet apart from our outside work with other artists. So we've been sort of bringing up our kids and generally sort of being normal people for a little while.
Which is very difficult.
And which is very difficult, especially in Robbie's case.
Yeah.
But we're back into sort of silly syndrome again, and we're okay. We're enjoying it, and we're ready to work. We're ready to go.
Is it a sort of a daunting thought, planning a world tour, planning all those months on the road and various hotels and
We're very excited about doing it.
But it is still a daunting thought.
Very daunting. As daunting goes, pretty daunting.
As daunting goes, it's probably the dauntiest.
Yeah.
Where's the world tour? Is literally that? You're going everywhere?
Yes, and daunting.
We open in daunting.
We're daunting on slide.
Daunting, Ohio.
We open in Europe in May, and then probably by about July we'll be going to Australia and all the Far East, New Zealand, and all those areas, and then America after that. We thought we'd do America till last.
Well, you really hung up on the American thing at the moment. I mean, is
Why would you say that? Why would you...
Is America the market that's the most important?
What, is America the most important? No, I don't think America's the most important. I think wherever the heat is,
Wherever it comes from.
is important to us. Europe is probably a bigger market to us than America. And in fact, Europe has made a dream come true for us. They've given us back the respect that we had before Fever, which is very special to us.
But it's going to happen in the States, it's just going to take a little longer, that's all.
Yeah, they're the first to give it back to us, and it's wonderful.
All right, we're talking about working. Let's go with Mr. Mick Jagger.
Oh, Michael.
You know Michael
Yeah,
well?
no, Mick.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Mick
Daunting.
Mick Daunting.
Daunting and
That's Jeff.
Les Jagger.
Let's do it. Michael Jackson, who we were talking about off camera, which is possibly just a
No,
joke.
he's not related.
He's said that he'll never work with his brothers again.
Or us.
What he said was, I'll never work with the brothers again.
Yes. Yeah.
I always
Yes,
get that
you
medal.
probably heard it second-hand.
You've done a bit of work with Michael.
Yes, we have. We've written with Michael, and he did one song with us for the Diana Ross album, and he sang on the song also. And Michael's, there are two sides to Michael. Obviously, it's not quite as crazy as people think he is, and he's smart about his career. He's not. He likes to come up with ideas that attract everyone's attention, and I think that's probably where some of these strange publicities come from. I believe he's just finishing touring, or touring.
He's about to
that
tour
part of the world
Australia.
right now. Yeah. No, I don't. First of all, none of us really believe that he won't work with his brothers again. I mean, those things just get taken out of context, you know. He's a terrific family person. He's not that kind. He's not that type at all. So I wouldn't accept that.
He found himself in a similar position to you, I guess, in that a huge selling album, and obviously you know.
I think it's one of the reasons we became good friends is because we definitely share one incident in our lives that we can relate to together. We talk about it quite often, and we have something in common regarding our new album and his new album, in that we're both trying to prove something. He's trying to prove that he can follow up Thriller, in his way, and we're trying to prove that the Bee Gees are as good as they ever were 6 years later. So there's something to relate to between us.
See, I personally think Michael Jackson's going to do what we did. I think after this album, you're not going to hear from Michael.
He's going to be quiet for a while, yeah.
You know, and I think that's what he's going to want to do, and I think he's going to need to do it.
Yeah.
Do you like Bad?
That's personal opinion. I think everybody's got their own ideas of the album, the same as
Well, I don't think it's as commercial as
Thriller.
But there are some very interesting tracks on it, the kind of things that Michael's fans would really love. And put it this way, where else do you think Michael would have gone? This is the right kind of music for a follow-up. So I mean, I think the greatest surprises will come from the next album.
Yeah.
But the sound album is a good album.
Good stuff. All right, let's roll Michael Jackson, Bad. To finish making a record and give the record to some video director and let him then interpret
Well,
the whole
first
thing.
of all, it's painful.
Not on his own. We should never let him do it on his own.
No, it's painful because when you write a song, there's no question that when we write a song, we have an absolute visual picture of the song. It's a vision. It's either a play or it's a situation, whether it's a love story or a love lost. So you have your own little vision, and then a director comes along that you choose, and they do a video that has nothing to do with the song whatsoever, and you can't figure out why they did what they did, and you don't have that much control. So you end up in a sort of a
But
depression.
you can sack him.
You know.
Yes,
But
they
it's
get
so,
lost,
but
get
you,
another one.
yes, but
Yeah,
you're so
yeah.
far down the line that you can't really stop the video because
Especially if you have a time.
You know, the record company say we're going to release it next
Yeah.
week on Tuesday or something.
It costs 200 grand even if you don't like it, so it's got to go out. You're running great risk. So for the artist, it's difficult.
And then it comes out, the record down, and then the record company says, "Dumb video, terrible video. You
Yeah.
should have, you should have got."
So it's a double standard all the time.
So it's kind of out of your control, that area.
It can get out of your control. very
No,
easily.
not anymore. No, it hasn't been for the first one.
Not for this one, no. And that's what happens. This
When I'm listening to this, it makes sense how, when Barry's talking about this, he's saying, listen, it would be better if the movie directors and the artists collaborate on what should be shown and how it should be shown, what to shoot and how to shoot it, because honestly, when you have that, and I'm sure many of you have seen this, where the music video has not one thing to do with the actual music. I mean, they just don't coincide together. And that's probably explains, the major reason why the Bee Gees didn't do that many music videos to start with, because they were not happy with the way it was going, the direction it was going.
video is a good video and it relates to the song and it's worked great. But you really have to stay on top of it as the artist, and the director doesn't really like you staying on top of it.
Yeah, we're just talking in general now.
Yeah. So you have this, when the artist and the director of the videos get closer together, I think you're going to get better videos. Until that happens...
I mean, we're not saying sleep with them. We're not saying sleep with the director.
Well, it depends.
Unless, of course, he's really attractive. And
Everything, it's all relative.
Oh, well, let's
Yeah,
go
I'll just
with
sleep
it.
with your relative.
We got two pretty hot videos. Let's do a Peter Gabriel video.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And before that, we got a great Bee Gees video. Spicks and Specks. What year?
Oh my God.
If we do it, you mean you have a video for Spicks and Specks?
Sure we do.
I know which one it is too, it's terrible.
No, it's the one in the bloody plane hanger, isn't
No, the
it?
one with the paisley pants. Oh yeah, the one on the airplane hanger.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
This is videos from way back, folks.
Wasn't our fault.
Vortex video.
We were just growing
Time for the Vortex video on the hour.
Time for a direct video.
New management, new record company. It's sort of like it's a new era.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It was one thing we all decided we would do. You know, it was started off that we've always wanted to be with Warner's for quite some time. It wasn't an overnight decision, particularly with them. And we've known Mo Austin for some years, who's the chairman of Warner's, and he's always had the same respect for us that we've had for them, and believe in what we're doing. So it was good to be with them, and finally we did get with them. And naturally we wanted fresh management, we wanted new management, new press people, new agency, everyone involved in helping us to steer our career in the right direction.
You talk about.
As you could probably tell, I was just soaking up Mo's voice, because you don't get to hear that very often. Yeah.
Luck in a lot of the press material. You really believe that there is such a thing as luck?
Well, yeah.
Well, there's an element of it,
Maybe
yeah.
it's not so much as timing and pacing yourself as well, and gut instinct, which we have.
All of that with a bit of luck.
All that with a little bit of luck thrown in.
We also believe that things can be preordained. We don't believe that
So you go to
everything is
church?
just... Yeah, no, I don't mean that. No.
The things are meant to happen.
Yeah.
If it's happened for a reason. If something has happened, we go, well, it was meant to happen for some reason or another.
I think we were meant to be to come back, and we believe that ourselves. And
When a man drowns, it means that he shouldn't have been there.
Harry Miller, who you're obviously familiar with, has got a great quote where he says, luck is where preparation meets opportunity.
Oh, no, luck is where preparation H meets opportunity.
that's great.
Yeah.
But you really believe that some of it is out there with the supernatural, with the ESP, with the...
It's pretty crowded out there.
there are certain things just the future just is already sort of selected. It sort of falls into place with very little variation.
Can you crystallise on that?
Yeah.
Crystallise.
There are famous people who made tremendous predictions, like Nostradamus or Edgar Casey. Who's
Not Ben Casey.
Not Ben Casey. He didn't make any predictions. He did make one. The show We're Going to Die, and it did.
I heard one, so we went down the hall with him. He came up to me and said, shit.
So that's
Nice
good.
guy. Hate it.
But the man Nostradamus, 400 years ago, actually named Adolf Hitler and named de Gaulle by every letter of the name. So someone who can see into the future that far, 400 years into the future, 300 years into the future, and name people exactly, you have to come to some sort of conclusion that some things are meant to be. And reading a lot of that matter.
Anything else?
Edgar Casey.
Edgar Casey.
There's a lot of tremendous gifted seers who have predicted amazing things that have all come true. It's 80% with Nostradamus. So you have to assume that he's not speculating, that he's seeing into the future. And some of those examples are incredible. So for me, I assume that some things are actually meant to be. How can you name someone like Adolf Hitler and only miss one letter 300 years before he existed? Unless you have to come to the conclusion that some things are meant to be. Anyway.
What was the spelling?
Hister.
It was without the H.
Hister.
It was Hister.
Hister.
Oh, Hister.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
I come to that conclusion that some things maybe
Not
not
many
everything.
people know that.
Hister?
Yeah. Well, he actually named de Gaulle. Said de Gaulle would
He
rule 3
named,
times.
he named the two brothers, the Kennedy
He said
brothers.
a man with a nose like Concorde will eventually come to the fore.
He was right.
Because he also predicted the Concorde.
Yeah.
Great wings will across the
Big
sky.
nose.
Better not.
Really? True story.
Drawings of it. And he gave it to Neil Kinnock.
Yeah, no, he predicted Neil Kinnock. He did
Tony
drawings-
Benn,
no,
he gave
he
it
did
to Tony
drawings
Benn,
of
they
Neil
gave it to
Kinnock.
him.
He actually did drawings of Neil Kinnock. And Ben,
Yeah, but they were like little silly ones.
yeah, well, that's what we're talking about.
Let's play some more music, guys. This is U2. You like U2?
Yeah?
Yes.
Well, where are we going to look for this?
It's on the TV set.
Here?
Right? Where are you
What
looking?
about up there?
No, not on the TV set. U2, where
That's boring. Television. That's it. Everyone expects you to be on television.
the exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
How was that?
Well, tremendous. I mean, certainly wasn't the Barbara Streisand we expected to be working with. We'd expected sort of, a little bit of ego or few problems. We'd heard rumours, and but in fact Barbara turned out to be the absolute opposite. Very professional, very friendly, and we sort of agreed to agree from the word go. She said, allow me to criticise, and I'll allow you to criticise, and we both go at each other from that vantage point, and it was just plain sailing. It was great.
How does something like that come about? Do you contact her, or does she get in touch
No,
with you?
in that respect, Barbara approached us after being at Dodger Stadium. She came to Dodger Stadium to see one of the last gigs on the tour, and 79. And at that point, she'd already requested that we get involved in doing an album with her. And we said yes in principle, obviously, and after the tour we would put it together. But not really expecting something like this to come together, because I mean, working with Streisand was something we didn't expect would happen. We got off the tour and it started to fall together nicely. With the agreements came through, everyone was happy, and we went to work. So it was pretty clear, you know.
Okay, let's have a look at Barbara Streisand and
Oh, you got something on her?
Emotion. Yeah.
Maybe a pair of pants here. We can hang them up there and have a look at them.
Can't use that.
The person who goes out on a tour is making it bigger and better with glass spiders and dancing girls and pet llamas on the road and all sorts of things.
Well, people like David Barry and so forth, and Michael being solo artists, it's part of the stage show helps that, to have other kind of things happening with you on stage. But we're not unlike Genesis in the way that we would tour. We just want to present our music. We're not.
We'll have some surprises too.
We'll have surprises, but we'll not be basically, you know, jumping around in costumes and things.
Exploding cut-out images of us.
But it'll be a staging, but more of lighting rather than special effects and things like that. You know.
We're still playing with it. Still playing with
You're
it.
not thinking of that big toilet again on the stage.
No, it's it's all right.
It's been done. It's been done.
The sponsorship seems to go hand in hand with major tours.
Yeah, they're all getting involved. Yeah, from Miller's, the beer, and God knows what, and Pepsi and so on. Yeah, everyone's involved in it. They all want to be a part of the action that's
But
going
we're at the very beginning of that, so we haven't done any deal yet.
We're doing talks on how the show's going to be right now. You know. Sort of.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll
As
come
we
a day?
As you
Yeah.
speak.
Do you think there'll come a day that it just gets so big and everybody's topping everybody else that suddenly someone will go on the road with, like, you know, a small
it can be.
PA system?
Well, you know, I think
Sure, it can be.
yeah, I think down to that is great. But no, I think that bigger and better will always be bigger and better. But you know that Strauss went on the road with 100,000 people. Long before any tours were ever heard
that
of
was
as pop.
2 years ago. Freddie Strauss.
No. Freddie Strauss. This is about, sorry, hitting the mic. This is about 100 odd years ago. He actually took 100,000 people on the
Took
road.
his own audience with him.
100,000 people?
Yeah. 4 sections
We
of
need to have an
choir.
audience with it.
No, that was apart from the audience.
No room for the audience.
And he took
But where did they put the audience?
20,000, 30,000 with his
3
choir.
people came to see him.
I remember with the box office. I only know
What did they do?
What did they do for dressing
This man
rooms?
was totally
was-
fucked.
It was dear, granted, it was a while before he went in. Granted, it was a while before he went into
Was it
profit. It took time. They told me the first gig won't raise money, they
They bought
said.
an account at the end of the year and they said, cut at least 80,000.
They used trains.
Yeah, I was surprised.
But it just shows you that people even in those days thought very big, you know.
Yeah.
Big, good grief.
Okay, well listen, David Bowie's one such actor who's currently on the road coming to Australia.
Yes.
Let's do a David Bowie clip, Never Let Me Down.
Absolutely.
Yes, very well.
Actually, a great record, Never Let Me Down.
Yeah.
In the Bee Gees, guys, thank you for giving us so much
Oh,
time.
thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for
It's
having
been
me.
terrific. Good luck with the continued success of the single,
Thank you.
You and Again, and of course the album ESP. Can I ask, I'm sure this is sort of all-consuming at the moment, and planning the tour and everything. Do you have a 10-year plan for the Bee Gees?
Yeah, that's about it. Well, we can't see ourselves being the Bee Gees in our 50s.
But one thing we are going to do, this is not just a one-off, this album and record we have out now, there's going to be others.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be the start of quite a few years of Bee Gees. And also, not just the Bee Gees itself behind the scenes, we're actually expanding, we're getting into record companies, film
Yes.
companies.
We'd like to have a film company and we'd like to make films. And we think that we have the creative capacity between us to do so. We don't think it should be just audio. And we'll be looking towards that.
That including
Wow.
photographs for Hustler on the weekend.
But
I
just,
don't think we'll ever stop writing now. I mean, even as we get older,
I
we'll
can
always
write for Hustler on the weekend.
We can be writing for Hustler.
Right, we do that hack job for Hustler.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope you don't stop. Continued success, as I said, and thank you again for your time. And I know that one guy who's you've admired the rekindled success.
Oh, Johnny Baby.
Is Mr. Farnham.
Yes,
Marvellous.
absolutely. Great song, great video.
Probably one of the best vocalists on this planet.
Yeah,
Truth should be said.
Really good.
well, we agree. Thank you, Bee Gees.
Thank you.
And
Here's Johnny.
we're going to leave you with John Farnham.
Here's Johnny.
Well, there you have it, folks. A rare 80s interview in Miami. The Bee Gees are finally catching a break, riding another wave, riding that out until I believe it was the one album in 1989. They had some success, I believe, in England with ESP preceding that, and they were starting to get back on top of things, having been through the disco backlash. Now, as many of you could see on the video, it was kind of chopped. They chopped some of the footage from other music videos, I believe Diana Ross, Barbra Streisand, and whatnot. But that was on the video that I was using, so that had nothing to do with me. Anyway, if you guys can find that footage that they had placed in there, in this interview on YouTube, let me know. But this was a rare interview as it was, so it's not too likely, but hey, you know, I can always be proven wrong. If you guys happen to stumble onto that, please send that to me. Let me know where I can see this interview in its entirety. Thanks so much for this. I hope you enjoyed this. This was a pretty lengthy interview, a little bit difficult to record, but it was so much fun doing it. This was rare, so hopefully most of my audience has not seen this yet. If you have, hey, you're hardcore fans. You don't mind watching it again, right? Thanks again, folks. Hope you're enjoying this weekend. Make sure to get lots of rest and relaxation if that's possible. Until next time, folks, take care. God bless.